Do you know what an operating agreement is for your business? Hi, I'm Courtney English, business and trademark attorney, and we're going to talk about an operating agreement and why it's important. Let's dive in. First off, an operating agreement only applies if you have an LLC. That's right, a limited liability company. If you do not have an LLC, you do not need an operating agreement. So let's just make sure we get that out there in the beginning. Now, an operating agreement is typically private in your business. That means you're not going to file with the Secretary of State. You're not sharing it with everybody. You're not showing your employees. It is really something between you and your business. Now, you, I'm assuming, are the owner of your business. If you have other owners of your business who have equity in your LLC, as we call them, members, they will also be privy to the operating agreement. So it's important that they get to see it too. Now, what does an operating agreement do? An operating agreement sets boundaries in your business. It talks about how you're going to get paid, the formation of your limited liability company, the expectations of your limited liability company, and some things about equity and taxes typically are found in there as well. Now, an operating agreement is not something to be taken lightly. It could come into court. It can come into play if there's a dispute about your limited liability company. The bank typically asks for this when you go ahead and set up your business bank account. So it's really important that you have it. It is a legally binding contract. You will sign it. It is binding between how you act with your company. If you breach your operating agreement, if you act differently than what it says on that piece of paper, you could be opening yourself up to personal liability and make your LLC pretty much moot and void. Most people ask me, well, what do I do with it after I sign it? If I don't show anybody, if I don't file it, you keep it. You put it where you put your corporate governance documents. You should have your articles of organization. You should have your operating agreement, your EIN number, all saved in a folder, preferably digitally and as a physical copy. Now, like I said, it may never come into play, but typically your business bank account will ask for it. If you apply for funding, they may want to see it. If you bring on new business owners, if you apply to be a women-owned or minority-owned business, they typically like to see this as well. So there are times when it can come up. But generally speaking, it's something that you just need to have for when the situation arises and it's requested and needed. It's not something that you're going to have and you're going to use proactively. So an operating agreement is super important in your business. Without it, you can void your LLC. It is not something that's generally on file anywhere else. And it's something that you have to save and sign. Make sure you sign it and you act in accordance with your operating agreement.